I told him the hardest part is to convince my ummah that the right path requires struggle and a price to pay. And the hardest part is convincing them that that price is worth paying. The hardest part is convincing them that the storm that is coming in the next 2 to 4 years is worth weathering for the sake of punishing the one who committed a genocide of 100,000 Palestinians. The hardest part is telling my ummah that their ummah was slaughtered, 100,000 were killed. The hardest part is telling them that they won't be ethnically cleansed in America regardless of who comes into power. They won't be genocided regardless of who comes to power. They won't be slaughtered regardless of who comes to power. Nothing that happened to the Palestinians will happen to them after November. The hardest part is convincing them to punish the genocider and weather a storm in which they will not pay a price like the Palestinians paid. He said to me, Ya Sami, Ya Sami, Ya Sami. He said, Isma ya Hagga. He said to me, you can tell he's from the place with the 2 pyramids. He said to me, Sami, you know, on this concept of struggle, I think, and he's a very good community builder. He builds bottom up. He said to me, you know, Sami, one thing I notice about our community is we teach that the pinnacle of success is the one who studied, worked hard, bought a big house, bought a nice car, and we point to the comfort that he established in the dunya and say, be like him. This is the blessed man of Allah. This is what success in the dunya looks like. He said the community will read about the state of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and they will read that Aisha radiallahu anha used to say that for 3 months, 3 moons, a fire would not be lit in our house. This community will say, MashaAllah on the Prophet and how successful he was. But my measurement of success today is that my brother here has a 3-bedroom house while I'm stuck in renting a studio. He is better than me through material possession, even though when you read the seerah, the Prophet is better in the absence of material or possession. Do you see what I mean by a dajjal? You read the seerah, but do the opposite conclusion of what the seerah encourages you in determining what is success. He said to me, the reason why this is problematic, Ya Sami, is that when we teach the community that the pinnacle of success is comfort, and that the hikmah is how to preserve the comfort, you realize, Sami, Islam becomes problematic for the Muslim community. Because think about it, Ya Sami. I told him, Sheikh, you know, there's no way you can rescue this. There's no context that can rescue this. He said, wait for me. The first 40 years of the life of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam, what was his relationship like with Quraysh? What was it? What was his nicknames? Sadiq, Ameen, beloved, noble son from a noble family. He said, all right. When do his problems begin? When does his struggle begin? Now I can see slightly where he's going in this, but I want to see how far he goes. It begins when he gets the revelation. He says, Sami, does his personality change at the age of 40? It doesn't. They know he's still Sadiq. They know he's still Ameen. So that's not what changes. What changes? He gets the revelation, stands up and says, end the genocide. Stop the ethnic cleansing. Stop giving them the bombs. Give them justice. Give them rights. La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah. Stop burying your daughters alive. Treat your women well. Society gets so angry at the call for justice. They begin to repress him. They begin to oppress him. They begin to beat him and his companions. The struggle begins and the comfort of the first 40 years vanishes. Then he says to me, Sami, when do his struggles end? They don't end until his dying breath. Do you see what I mean now, Sami? Islam tells you the pinnacle of success is to persevere through struggle, to stand for what's right and persevere in the struggle that is required. But we teach our children that struggle means there's something wrong. Islam tells you struggle is the prophetic way. We teach them struggle is the wrong way. Islam teaches us struggle is the way of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We say that the way of struggle means you're doing something wrong. You need to change your way, because hikmah is comfort. It's not struggle for what's right and what's just.